Hi, welcome to the Offensive Presser for Tuesday, August 20th. Here on VUU's campus, we have with us today VUU Offensive Coordinator and Quarterbacks Coach Luke Bengtson. Coach, welcome to the Presser.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jim.
Now, you're entering your third season as Offensive Coordinator or Quarterbacks Coach or both?
Yeah, third season overall, and my second season as the Offensive Coordinator and Quarterbacks Coach. I have coached quarterbacks now for 3 years, though.
Now that you have 3 years, or you will have 3 years under your belt, how have things changed from when you first came on the scene?
Yeah, probably the biggest thing that stands out for me as far as a roster standpoint is we just have more depth now. You know, we just have more good players. And then from a program standpoint, you know, when I came into this program, they were coming off of a 6-4 season. And then after we were able to win 9 games and 10 games, the spotlight just grows. That's probably as big of anything. It seems like more people around the city of Richmond and just in general nationally now know who we are. And that's really, really exciting to be a part of.
With key players graduating and new recruits coming in, like you spoke to, how do you adapt your coaching style to maintain the momentum from last year's championship season?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly something that we can grow from and we can learn from. But at the same time, like I always tell our offensive guys, is we haven't won a single game yet in 2024. You know, and so don't be complacent. You know, we're going to get everybody's best shot, and if anything, it's actually harder to win after you've won. And so we've been extremely vocal, and I can be a bit fiery and make sure I get my point across with our guys that we have everything to prove still, and we can build and learn off of last year, but just because we had success last year doesn't guarantee any form of success this year. And I think our guys really do understand that. They've really been working hard. You know, even in spring ball, we had a really, really good spring practices through the summer and fall camp, and so I think that message has been portrayed loud and clear.
Last year, you had a dual quarterback situation with Christian Reed and RJ Rosales. Now, Reed was in his graduate year last year, so he's gone. Does the pressure now fall on RJ Rosales?
Well, we have 4 quarterbacks, you know, on our roster, and we honestly do feel good about all 4 of them. I think as big of anything is those guys have now been in the program for multiple years. You know, oftentimes it can be hard when you just bring in a player, especially at that position. He has to learn the whole offense and system in a short time. But, you know, RJ's been in it for 3 years now. Mark Wright, Miles Derricott, and Tavon Tyler have all been in it for their second season. So there's just a lot of familiarity, and they've just had a lot of reps of understanding things. So I really feel good about that quarterback room, and extremely confident that they're going to perform well this fall.
So you mentioned your spring practices and spring scrimmages. Can you tell us more what you're doing to ensure that the offensive side of the team stays dominant going into the season?
Yeah, I mean, one of the best advantages we have here is that we have a great defense. You know, and so the saying iron sharpens iron is extremely true here. And I know Coach Pointer and I always talk about it. It would be problematic if the offense was always dominating our defense. It probably means our defense isn't very good. And if our defense was dominating our offense every day, it probably means our offense isn't pretty good. So we've had a really good back and forth. So honestly, is good of anything is just going against a really good defense every day. And I tell our guys that too. If we can make plays, you know, and have really good back and forth and score touchdowns against our defense, you know, I really like our chances in the CIAA.
Coach, are we going to be a passing team or who runs every once in a while, or a running team who passes every once in a while?
Yeah, that answer is more we're going to do whatever we can to score points, you know, and truly there's part of that you have an identity of kind of what you want to do. But to me, a good offensive coordinator adapts to not only the players but what the defense does. So, you know, there's going to be certain weeks where it's probably more advantageous to throw the ball around a little bit more, and there's going to be certain weeks that it might be more advantageous to run the ball. You know, in a perfect world, we would like to be balanced. I firmly believe that you have to be good at both to not just win our conference, but, you know, our goals are to make a run in the playoffs, and we're going to need to be able to run the football and throw the football successfully.
One aspect that RJ Rosales brings, and I don't know about the other quarterbacks yet, so forgive me for that, but he brings an aspect, a dimension of running. He's very, very fast. Does that give him an edge?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely causes something that the defense has to prepare for. He's very athletic, and kind of like I said earlier, there's three other quarterbacks that can all run, and that's by design. That's something that we recruit. We're not trying to have someone in there who's just standing duck, and we want guys who can go out and make plays. But definitely having an athletic quarterback, when a play breaks down or if it's designed, that can really stress a defense.
Considering how deep the talent goes with VUU's football team, how are you guys approaching the player rotation for this upcoming season to keep the team fresh and competitive throughout the season?
Yeah, good question. As far as the quarterback thing, we actually chart every single throw that they do in practice. So after a practice, every single segment is charted. Here's how many they completed. Here's how many were incomplete. Here's how many touchdowns we've thrown. Here's how many interceptions. So we don't want things to just be opinion, when guys are duking it out for playing time. We want there to be some type of facts like, hey, this is what's separating you right now, good or bad. And then it also gives them, areas to work on.
And can you tell us about your anticipation for the upcoming games against Hampton, Kentucky? How excited are you for the schedule?
Yeah, it's always a fun schedule. I mean, there's a lot of really good teams in this conference, and certainly, week 2, we know will be a great challenge. But to be honest with you, our complete, utter focus is on Kentucky State, and we kind of spent our first couple weeks in true training camp focusing on us and how good can we possibly be with our fundamentals, our techniques, and everything. But now this past week and moving forward, every single thing we're talking about is Kentucky State, Kentucky State, Kentucky State. We're going to hop on a bus, and it's going to be 8-ish plus hours, and we're going to leave early. So it's going to be a challenge, and, they're going to be fired up, and they have a really good team. I can just speak for defensively. I think they really fly around and tackle well and run and hit and got a lot of really good players. So, the schedule will be what it is, but to be honest with you, it's just Kentucky State all the way through, and that's what we're preaching to our players.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks again for being on the Panther Presser today.
You bet. Thanks for having me, guys.
RJ Rosales, welcome to the Panther Presser. Tell me a little bit about this upcoming season. How has practice been going so far for you?
Thank you for having me. I guess for this upcoming season, practice it's been everything we've expected. We returned a lot of guys. We got a lot of experience. We got a lot of depth, and it's everything that we've needed to display and everything we knew we were going to be. So, to say the least, it's been going really well.
You're entering your senior season here at Virginia Union, correct?
I'm going into my junior season.
Let's do that question over. Okay. All right. You're entering into your junior season here at Virginia Union. How has this season, the preparation for this season, been different from past years? Or has it been different? Let me put it to you that way.
That's a great question. I believe as far as a team, everything has more or less been the same. Little tweaks here and there because obviously to get somewhere you've never been, you have to do things you've never done. But I think from a player standpoint, I think all of us took this off-season really personal. All of us feel that we fell short, and I think we all pushed our body to exhaustion this off-season, this spring, and knowing that there's a bigger goal to attain.
Quarterbacks for the VUU Panthers. Now, last year you kind of split duties between Christian Reed and yourself. Mm-hmm. Now you've got 3 other guys competing for the same spot. Mm-hmm. How is that working out this year?
It's working out really well. Just with the depth in our quarterback room, I really feel, aside from me, those other 3 guys can't take this job. The coaches, I feel, are going to put the best person on the field or whoever gives us the best opportunity to win. But as far as us, every day, it's a constant battle. You can never feel comfortable around us. Everybody's competing and pushing themselves to be the best, not for just the team, but, for our room as well, because we feed off of each other.
So let's take a look back into last season's championship season, and I want to know, what are your lessons from last year that you want to carry into the season to push the team a bit further this season?
My biggest thing, I think that I would carry from last season into this season, and Coach Parker does a fellowship amongst his players every game, whether it's home or away, and I was blessed enough to speak the first one, and the message I sent to my guys in Morehouse was, be where your feet are. And to me, that means just be present, because I truly feel that you're your best self when you are most present. So honestly, just taking things 1 week at a time. We know there's rankings, we know there's expectations, but I truly believe we keep everything in-house. Everything we want to accomplish is right in front of us. We just have to go out there and take it.
RJ, where are you from?
I'm from Immokalee, Florida.
What was that again?
Immokalee, Florida.
Amokani?
Immokalee.
Where is that near?
I would say Fort Myers, Florida, Naples, Florida, Miami, Florida.
How'd you get interested in Virginia Union?
It was an accident, to say the least. I was at West Point. Things kind of went south there. I hit the transfer portal, had a few options, but given the curriculum over there is a little bit different from traditional schools, I was, kind of set back. Had a few options coming into what would be my freshman season as the restart happened. Things fell off with communication with other schools. I was set to go to Tuskegee, and I believe 4 days before I was supposed to report, I was told a mix-up happened as far as admissions office. I was working out 3 to 4 times a day, working construction, trying to figure out, okay, where is this going to lead me? I stayed down, I prayed on it, and I was about to wrap it up with the sport. Before I knew it, Coach Parker called me, asked, hey, we still seeing you're available. Is this true? I explained the situation to him. Kind of didn't have much of a choice. I was working out 3 or 4 times a day, working construction. I was sleeping on the couch. I was alternating between my mom and my sister's house. He said, I understand your situation. Give me an hour. It took him about an hour 15, hour and a half. He called me, and I'll never forget the words, are you ready to be a Panther? The rest was history.
Are you a quarterback who runs, or who can run, or are you a quarterback who can run but also can pass? I guess I'm asking you, are you a passing quarterback who runs or a running quarterback who passes?
I can do both, but really just to answer your question, I feel I'm a franchise quarterback, man. There's quarterbacks who are surrounded by great players, and there's quarterbacks who make everyone else around them great. And I feel I'm a franchise quarterback.
So with the legacy of VUU's football team growing more and more each season, what is one short-term goal that you have and a long-term goal that you have for this upcoming season?
That's hard to compile that because, I'm just a winner. Whether it's putting myself behind and watching my team thrive or whether it's me having to push ahead, my short-term and long-term goal is ultimately to win. That's our culture. That's everything that we're basing our program off of.
RJ, what's your major?
My major is health science with a minor in chemistry.
What made you decide to go into that field?
I love the game. Back home we have a lot of NFL players with Edgerrin James, Deion Sanders, Dearness Johnson, Deidre Sonatas, a lot of them. And whenever they're home for the offseason, I'm always working out with them. And I really, truly feel that I want to stay around the game for as long as I possibly can, whether that's a player, a coach, a trainer, and whatever I can do to give the knowledge I have, being from what I've learned through experience and what I've learned from those who are in the position I'm trying to get into, I feel it'd be a waste to not share it.
All right. Thank you, RJ, for being on the Panther Presser today. All right, Jabril, entering your graduate season. This is your last go-around for the Virginia Union Football Panthers. What's your personal goals this year?
My personal goal is just really living in the moment, taking the practice at a time, day at a time. This is my last season, so it's probably pretty much going. Hopefully not, but it might be the end of my football career. So just really enjoying every day, taking a day at a time, game at a time, win or lose, just giving it all I got for football.
You were second on the team last year in tackles. I believe you had 70 total.
Yeah.
Yes, great season. What do you hope to accomplish? Do you hope to accomplish the team lead in tackles this year?
I want to say that I don't really strive off personal accolades as much because I care about winning games. That's my big thing. I can have 100 tackles, but if I don't win a game, none of it matters. So me personally, I just want to be the best me I can be just overall on the field, regardless if I have 1 tackle or 2 or 20. As long as we win, that's what really matters to me. So.
With consideration of all of the hype surrounding your team in the preseason polls for this season coming up, how are you and your teammates managing the hype and staying focused on your day-to-day work?
With that, just by keeping the energy, really, like keeping that same energy from last season, and not being complacent and just being comfortable, just wanting more. We kind of like a senior led team almost. We got a lot of older guys, so we got a lot of guys who really just wanted to give it all their last year and their last time playing. So just more or less just keeping that energy and growing from that. So I say that's the biggest thing for us.
Okay, and so speaking back onto your teammates, your recruiting class, it grew again, and you have a lot of talented players that joined the team. So how are the new players integrating into the program, into the system, and who stood out to you in preseason?
The young guys, it's a pretty good group. Like the guys, they learn. Like I said, we are older group, so like it's a lot of wisdom and knowledge, to give to the young guys, and I feel like they do a good job just looking, learning, and listening, and learn from all the other guys. So, and I say the biggest standout, as far as I say on the defensive side of the ball, it had to be. We got a lot of good guys, so I can't really take one out. We got pretty good, freshman guys coming in. So I'd say my boy Joseph. I can't say his last name, but he I think he's eligible to see. But he come in, he practice real hard, he do pretty good. So he got pretty good energy. Is when he get eligible, I feel like he'd be very great for the university in the future. We got newcomer, my man Keenan. He's a transfer, but he fit real good in the program. So Keenan Cupid, he played linebacker with us as well. So he do a good job. I feel like he's gonna do a good job getting in like rotation and stuff like that. So, but like I said, we got overall a pretty great group. You know what I mean? I can't just say one just outstanding. They all had some good energy. So.
What's your major, Jabril?
Well, I majored in finance and banking. That's what I got my degree in. So I'm currently in the master's program getting my MBA.
Oh, what made you decide to choose that as your major?
Finance and banking, because I'm very great with numbers. I'm all right with numbers. I'm a numbers guy. I like math, and my father, he grew up with his own business, wholesaling and liquidation. So, and I feel like throughout life, finances and managing that was like his biggest struggle. So I just wanted to learn that, and be able to have that knowledge so I can help my family as well. So.
Considering your seniority on the team, how are you stepping into your leadership role this season, and what's some of the advice that you're giving to your younger teammates?
Me, I'm always like I'm a lead by example type leader. I'm not really the type that tell you what to do something or try to get you to follow me. It's just if you do, you do. You don't. So it's just kind of been me throughout my career as well. Just I'm the type that show you how to do it and show you what the energy should look like. So, but me personally, I tell the young guys, man, just take everything in, learn much as you can, best way you can, and I'll always get the most mental reps you can, because when it's your time, you never know when your time, like a player get hurt and the young guy might have to step up. So, like, the biggest is taking everything in and learning from it and grow from it and get 1% better. So.
Also, considering your status as one of the seniors on the team, I'm sure you have a lot of advice on this aspect, but how do you balance your student-athlete role and your demands academically and physically on and off the field?
Biggest thing, time management, of course. You learn that from just in general. Time management is the biggest thing. And just really like staying disciplined to what you got and making the sacrifices needed for your personal goals. Like everybody has their own goal, what they want in life. So it matter what sacrifices you're willing to take to do what you gotta do. For what you want to do. So, and that I say that, and then just time management. That's the biggest thing, because like I say, you only got 24 hours in a day. So just you gotta use them wisely.
Would anything less than a championship be disappointing?
Nah, yeah, anything less. I'm getting for a national championship. That's my goal. This is my last year. I'm trying to go out like Ray Lewis did. So, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Jabril, for being on the Panther Presser today.
Yes, sir.